I got that California.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our ICBA Season 5 draft analysis. Today we're just going to go over the team that we drafted for our 4th season in the ICBA. This is our 3rd in the regular season, and we had 1 in the D-League before we actually started in the regular season. And I'm liking the roster we have. I'm also loving the coaches in the league so far. We have a ton of amazing guys, and I'm really hoping it's going to be an awesome season for everyone involved. Hoping everyone really enjoys their time this season. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started with everything. So first things first, this is the ICBA. It is a Uber's draft league, meaning we can have at least, well, not at least, but only one, just one S-tier Pokemon. And we have a specific tier for our S-tier Pokemon. They go in the S tier now. And this is very important because in the past it was your S-tier Pokemon would go into your free slot, and if you had a Mega that was an S tier, like a Mega Blaziken, you would be costed, or you'd be charged the same amount that the S tiers would cost. So you'd lose 240 points, and they would go into your Mega slot, meaning you had 4 free slots where you had 160 points to spend, which is, it's insane. So we had a bit of a tiering structure issue, I guess is how I want to put it, over the off season, and I love the way the tiering is set up now. ICBA does something very unique, which is it splits its draft up, or its tiers up into 2. So there's, for example, a tier 1A and a tier 1B, and tier 1A's cost 180, tier 1B's cost 160. Then there's a tier 2A, tier 2B, 3A, 3B. There's a tier 4, there's a tier 5A and 5B. So it makes things so much easier to draft around, and it really organizes things a lot better because there's like, to me, Dragonite is something that's really weird. Just as an example, Dragonite, it's a tier 1 Pokemon, but how often do you see it drafted in tier 1? It's just very rarely done. If it was drafted in tier 2, it would be so much better because it's like a tier 2 Dragonite. It's insanely good. So it's in tier 1B, I believe, in this draft, and that makes it like a much more manageable pick. But anyways, I'm kind of getting away from myself. What I do want to do before I do get started is I want to say thank you to all of my members of the front office in the Ocean. I really appreciate you guys. Like, you honestly have no idea. They are so helpful. You do not understand how helpful these people are. They give so much time and energy, and I really appreciate all the help they give, because without them, I don't think I would have become the player I am today, and I just really appreciate all the help they provide. So thank you guys, and I really hope that everyone who is watching this video sticks around to the end of the video, the very end of it, because they will be saying hello. At least the ones that send me an audio file will be saying hello to everyone, and just talking for a minute or two, maybe 30 seconds even. Yeah, most of them 30 seconds. They only have one clip that's over a minute long. But yeah, I really hope you guys stick around. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the draft. So we had the 7th pick in the draft, and it's a really good spot. I was kind of hoping for one of the top few picks because I really wanted Magearna with this pick. I thought I haven't used it in a while. I think it's like Dream League Season 4 or Season 5, and I definitely need another shot at it because I did not build well around it when I had it last time. But they got sniped first turn, well, turn 1. It got sniped at round 1, pick 1. Aaron took it. He's going to use it amazingly, so I'm kind of scared about that. But we had pick 7. I was looking at something that like I've never used before, something like Ho-Oh, something like Origin Form Giratina. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go something I'm very comfortable with, and that is going to be the PROTEAN Greninja. Now, PROTEAN Greninja is one hell of a Pokemon. I used it in the BBL, and it was 17-5, I believe, and I finished 3rd in the MVP race behind Darkius and what else? And Magearna, I think. Yeah, Darkius and Magearna. And Magearna, like, it never lost to a game it came to. It also, its coach never lost to, Gypsy never lost. And there was Darkius, which is, its RC is dark. It should have been banned. Let's put it that way. But Greninja is insanely powerful. Obviously, its stats aren't that impressive, but the fact that it has stab on literally every move it gets is so good. Boosting things up by basically a choice band is so useful, and it makes things hit so much harder. It's so strong, and the fact that it has great speed and amazing coverage as well makes it a really valuable Pokemon and really deserving of the S tier ranking that it gets. It did cost 20 points because it was an S tier 2, but we can live with that. It'll just mean we have 20 less points to spend later on in the draft, but that's okay. I'm loving this pick. I'm really happy with it. I love the fact that I was able to use it in the BBL, and I think it's so much better than Battle Bond Greninja, like so much better than Battle Bond Greninja. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get into our next pick, which is going to be our Mega, which goes into our tier 1 slot because it is a tier 1 Mega. And I sniped, I think 1 or 2 people. I definitely sniped DS with it, but maybe I sniped someone else. I could be wrong. But I ended up going with Mega Gallade here. Now the reason I went with Mega Gallade is, one, this, the last time I used it, also had 17 kills and I believe 5 deaths as well. So it and Greninja are pretty similar in the fact that I was able to use them really, really well. They're both very offensive Pokemon that are fast, hit super hard, have great coverage, and they pair really well together because they kind of handle what each other is weak to. Obviously, Mega Gallade has a bit of trouble handling fairy types outside of Poison Jab. I can go into my Greninja and fire off a Stab Gunk Shot and just nuke that thing, or a Z Gunk Shot for that matter. Greninja has trouble with maybe some, what else? What is I'm saying? Some, oh my god, some Dark types, that's what it is. Has some trouble with Dark types. Mega Gallade comes in and clicks Close Combat and nukes them. They do very different things. One, well, they both have immediate offense, but Mega Gallade can also set up really effectively. And I'm really hoping to use Mega Gallade efficiently, really well. And it's a great speed tier to pair with Greninja, being that they're only 12 apart, 110 and 122 are both tremendous. And yeah, I think we have a really good solid start to our core here. Our next pick is a Pokemon that I'm kind of regretting, or I regretted a little bit after because my pick 4 got sniped and it really changed a lot of how I wanted to roll with things. And I ended up going with Zapdos here. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Zapdos. This is in my top 15 or 20-ish, around that range for total best Pokemon in the format. It's so good. It can do tons of different things. Its EVs can be really molded, and its stats can be molded by your EVs in pretty much any way you want. Want a physically defensive monster? You got it. Especially, you got it. You want a speedy support Pokemon with Tailwind, Thunder Wave, Roost, T-Fog? Sure. You want an offensive presence? It's got 125 special attack. It can do that. You need momentum? Zapdos has you covered. I love Zapdos. I don't think, though, I made the right choice. I should have gone with Gliscor instead, but Zapdos, it's in itself, still pairs really well with my first 2 Pokemon, and it still pairs well with my draft. I just wish I'd gone a different route. It would have made things a lot easier towards the end of the draft. But Zapdos is here. It gives me a really insanely reliable Defogger, a great electric type. It gives me a ground immunity. Pressure and Static are both pretty good abilities. Static's probably run more often than not, but Pressure can still be really useful in case I want to stall things out. I don't know if I would actually do that though. I'm not very good at playing stall, but Zapdos is just incredible, and I'm really hoping I can use it well in this league. Moving on though, our next pick. Again, I said I got sniped round 4, and I did. I wanted Mamoswine here. It's going to be a great fit. Give me a rocker, give me a ground type, give me tons of amazing things, give me great speed, Terra base 80. But I got sniped 2 picks before me, or 3 picks before me, something like that. And I ended up going with Sylveon instead. Sylveon gives me an amazing Wish Passer, an amazing Cleric, gives me a great Fairy type. I've been relying a lot on like Slurpuff and Aromatisse lately and stuff like that, so I would like to have something a bit more reliable, and definitely Sylveon does that for me. Its speed is kind of iffy, but it's got great special attack, great special defense, pretty good HP at base 95. Firing off pixelated boosted Hyper Voices is nothing to laugh at, especially if it's coming from a Specs or Scarf Sylveon. Gets access to Baton Pass, so if they want to go into a Steel type, Baton Pass out into my Mega Gallade. Mega Gallade says, here, have a close combat. Or, oh, you have a Ghost type? Let me predict that and go for a knockoff. So I have such incredible ways to just get into my offensive Pokemon with Zapdos, Sylveon, Greninja, and I'm loving that so far. I think Sylveon's going to play a very important role, keeping Zapdos healthy from Toxic and with Wish, same with Mega Gallade from Burns. So I think Sylveon's going to be very important to the team, and I'm really hoping I can use it effectively because this is one of the Pokemon that I have the least amount of experience with on my team. I think I've used all but 2 Pokemon, and then there's Sylveon, which I've used the least out of everything else. So yeah, it's going to be fun to it's Next up though, our 5th pick in this draft. You notice I don't have rocks yet, and I desperately need rocks, and also the tier 3s kind of suck. Tier 2s kind of suck too. Well, it's not they suck, they just don't pair well with what I have, or I just don't like them. And I decided to go with Donphan in tier 3 here for my 5th pick. Gives me a ground type. I desperately needed an electric immunity. I also desperately needed rocks, and this does that for me. It's a super reliable hazard setter. It's also a super reliable hazard remover. That's what I want to say. It gets support from Sylveon with Wish and Heal Bell. Gives me rocks, gives me priority, gives me knockoff, gives me Earthquake, Seed Bomb, Play Rough, tons of great coverage, super good physical wall with 120 base defense. Pairs with Zapdos very, very well. Obviously, they both are weak to ice, so I need to kind of shore that up a little bit towards the end of my draft, and I definitely need to do that. I'm thinking about it now. My draft is a little bit weak to ice, but not crazy weak to ice, and it can definitely be taken care of and handled. So yeah, Donphan is a really good Pokemon. I'm super excited to use it again. I used it towards the end of BBL, and I had a lot of fun with it, even though it really didn't do too much work. But it was a lot of fun, and hopefully we can do really good with it this season again. Our next pick is going to be something that's very important. So at this point in the draft, I'm thinking to myself, I need to go and make a plan. I can go one way, another way, or a third way. And I made a plan around 2 Pokemon, and I decided to go with this because I felt like it was very important. My plans were around either Salamence, Scizor, or Heatran, and it was very important. One would give me, obviously, a great Dragon type. The other 2 would give me amazing Steel types. And I really want to pair these Pokemon with 4x weaknesses with other 4x weaknesses. But the first thing I do with this is I go with Salazzle. Salazzle was super important because Salazzle gives me an answer to fairy types. My resists for fairy types in the BBL was nothing. I had no resist at all, which is, my fire type was weak to, my fire type was a fighting type, so it's neutral to fairy. My dragon type was a steel type, so it's neutral to fairy. I didn't have a poison type, and I didn't have an extra steel or fire type. Jeez. So it was a problem when I was facing against Aaron's team with Xerneas, against Gypsy's team with Magirna. So things got really tough. But now I have Salazzle, which is incredibly strong, incredibly fast, has amazing stat options with poison and fire. It can toxic poison types, it can toxic steel types. Super valuable ability to have. The speed it has, it lets me run sub-disable sets often. I love using sub-disable in the Gym Leader Challenge for the APA like a couple months ago. So I'm really looking forward to using Salazzle, and it's going to be tons of fun this season. It gives me a 4 times weakness though to ground, and it's okay as long as though I can kind of, I guess, fix the weaknesses to ground. I can really force my opponents to run hidden power ices or hidden power fires or hidden power electrics or whatever it may be. But yeah, Salazzle is incredible. At this point, you can probably guess I'm not going Heatran because Heatran is a fire type. It's also 4 times weak to ground. So probably not the best fit there. But I do go with another Pokemon from those two, and I really snipe someone really hard of this, and I end up sniping die super hard of Salamence here. I was going to wait on Salamence. I really wanted to wait. I'm like, I could wait. I should get something else instead here. But then a little voice in my head and my front office were like, you should probably get Salamence now. And I was like, really? Let me look at the team. Let me look at the drafts. And I see Dai has no Dragon type, has no Flying type, or I think he might have had a Flying type, but he had really good answers to Ice. And he also had his full amount of points left to spend. So I'm like, okay, I'm drafting it now. I have to take it now. Salamence, I believe, was a tier 1B Pokemon, maybe, I think it was. So it pretty cheap, 160 points, just like Zapdos was, and it's a great Pokemon. Gives me Wish, Intimidate, Moxie, Dragon Dance, tons of great coverage, Fire, Dragon, Flying, Ground, what else? I think it's Thunderfang as well. What else? What else does it get? Oh my god, I'm trying to think. Shadow Claw, like, there's tons of really good things that it does get. It gets incredible support options in Tailwind and Defog and Wish, like I said before. It just does so much for me, and it also forces my opponent to run Hidden Power Ice, because if you don't run Hidden Power Ice, then you gotta run Dragon or Fairy or Rock, and, well, yeah, I mean, I can probably lift some Hidden Power Dragons, I can lift some Hidden Power Rocks, especially if you want to use that to hit Salazzle and Salamence. So I'm looking forward to using Salamence. It's going to be a lot of fun. I enjoy using it as a Wish Passer in the Ocean League's Gym Challenge, and yeah, look, its stats are incredible. Its speed ties with Zapdos here, but Zapdos is mostly going to be run defensively, so now my speed is looking pretty good at the high end. I have Greninja at 122, I have Salazzle at 117, I have Mega Galate at 110, and then I have Zapdos and Salamence at 100 each, which is very, very strong. Really going to force my opponents to run Timid or Jolly Natures instead of the Modest or Adamant Natures. So moving on though to our next pick, I went with the Salamence route, and I was really debating here for my tier 4 selection, do I want to go with Miltank or Escavalier? Miltank would give me an Ice resist and a Fire resist, which is very, very important, because looking at my Ice resist right now, I have Salazzle and Protean Greninja, which are both frail and, yeah, so not really the greatest Ice resist in the world. Looking at my Fire resists, I have Salazzle and Greninja, again, which, well, and Salamence, but Salazzle and Greninja, really not great Fire resists, so I was thinking about that, but it also gives me Rocks, and it gives me a Ghost immunity. It does so much for me. But I couldn't do it. I could not go with it. I went with Escavalier instead because my Steel-type options were just awful after that. There's Ferroseed, Probopass, and like, that's it. They're just not good enough. So it is what it is. Escavalier comes here. It's a 4 times weak. Sorry, it's a Pokemon that's 4 times weak to Fire, but that's its only weakness, and it really forces my opponent again. Do I run Hidden Power Ice for Salamence, Hidden Power Ground for Salazzle, Hidden Power Rock to hit those two as well together, or do I run Hidden Power Fire for Escavalier? Make a choice, and let's see if it bites you in the ass or not. So obviously, Escavalier isn't the greatest Pokemon in the world. It's really slow, but it's got amazing bulk. It's got a really good typing. It's got super hard-hitting moves in Mega Horn, Knockoff, Iron Head, Pursuit, and Drill Run. It got Swords Dance as well. I think Escavalier is going to be a ton of fun to use, and if my opponent doesn't prep for it, it can really run through an entire team. So I'm really hoping that Escavalier puts in the finest of work for us. So we have 3 picks left, and all 3 have to be from the Tier 5 pool. I can have at most 2 from 5A, and at least 1 from 5B. So yeah, we'll start off with our first 5A Pokemon, which is going to be Mismagius. Now, Mismagius is incredible. It's an amazing Pokemon. It's a really good Tier 5, but I use it really badly. I just did my, what is it called? I just did my my historical stats, and I found that Mismagius in one of the leagues I used it in, it went 0-6, but I went to the finals in that league, and I was dominating in that league as well. But it went 0-6, which is crazy. It died every single week it came to, and I don't know. but it's such a good Pokemon on paper. It gives me a fighting immunity, it gives me a normal immunity, it gives me a ground immunity, it gives me a heal bell as well, it gives me Trick Room, it gives me Trick as well, obviously. It gives me amazing coverage and really good speed as well. Obviously, its physical attack, physical defense, and HP kind of suck, but its speed, special attack, and special defense, it's more to make up for it. And I think Ghost is such a hard type to switch in on if my opponent doesn't have a good dark type or a good normal type. So I'm really looking forward to using this Magius this season. It's going to be tons of fun. Just right now, like, I can see myself bringing all of these Pokemon to a game and really putting in tons of work with all of them. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with this Magius. Hopefully I can redeem myself just a little bit. Our next Pokemon, again, Tier 5A. I got sniped. I wanted to pick up my Tier 5B this pick here, but I got sniped a Barbaracle. The reason why I wanted Barbaracle is because, one, it was a bulky water type. It actually has much better HP, defense, and special defense, than what you would think it does. I think it's 125 defense, 85 special defense, and like I think it's like 65 or 75 HP, which is not bad at all. It gets Shell Smash, gets Stealth Rocks. It's a 4 times weakness to Electric, which really forces my opponent to run Hidden Power, Hidden Power, not Electric, 4 times weakness to Rock. Not Rock, Grass, oh my god. And I have amazing grass resistances, but it got sniped, so I went with Lantern instead. Lantern gives me a Water immunity, an Electric immunity, it gives me a Fire resist. Yeah, it gives me another Cleric. It's a bit faster than other things I could have gone with. It's really bulky, and I've used Lantern in the past before. I've enjoyed it. It's a really nice pivot, and it really helps, and it's really useful because Greninja obviously is weak to, well, it's not a bulky water, so it's kind of susceptible to well, not being able to take hits, obviously, and Lantern can definitely take hits. It pairs well with Zapdos because Zapdos is weak to what? Ice and Rock, I believe, and I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. While Lantern is only weak to Ground and Grass, and Zapdos resists both of those, or is immune, or resists one and is immune to the other. So it's a very good pairing here. It relies a lot on the Sylveon Wish support and the Salamence Wish support and the Mega Galade Wish support, but I definitely feel like Lantern is a very important Pokemon. But the only thing is, the Rock I'm going to get in Tier 5B is just awful, and I went with this Pokemon in Tier 5B because I really had no other choice. I felt like I needed something that was bridging the speed gap between Sylveon and, well, I guess, Lantern to a lesser extent Sylveon at base 67, and my next slowest mon, which is at base 100. So I went with Pinsir here. Pinsir is base 85 speed. That's the big thing. It's 85 speed and it gets rocks. Very important. It also gets Mold Breaker, gets Moxie. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much here for rocks. It gets a knockoff, close combat, X-Scissor. It's basically just here to make sure that I have another rocker, and a pretty reliable one at that because it is decently fast. It has really good defense at base 100, so it can take a hit if needed. And in worst case, I run a Focus Sash on it, and I just use Stealth Rocks, and then I can run. I think this thing gets Endeavor. If it doesn't get Endeavor, then it definitely gets Priority and Quick Attack and Feint. But yeah, that's it. That's our team. We have a team of Mega Galade, Sylveon, Donphan, Salazzle, Escavalier, Miss Magius, Greninja Protean form, Zapdos, Salamence, Lantern, and Pinsir. Very cool team. I'm excited to use it. If you have nickname suggestions, let me know in the comments below. My nicknames so far are terrible. I believe I only have Greninjas so far, which is Drew. And I think after that, I'm all out of nicknames. Oh yeah, I have Goodyear for Donphan as well. But other than that, I'm pretty much empty on nicknames. But yeah, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and of course subscribe to the channel. Don't go away just yet. Whatever you do, stick around for a few more minutes. You're going to have the members of my front office say hello to you guys, and I would really appreciate if you guys stuck around and hear what they have to say. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all next time.
Hey Ocean people, it's TK or TKO back again in Matt's front office for the ICBA. I'm really excited to see him use Sylveon this season. It's absolutely my favorite fairy type in the format and just in general, so I hope he's going to do well. I hope he at least goes 7-3 this season.
Hello everyone, my name is If, and I'm happy to say I'll be joining Matt's front office for the first time for this season of the ICBA. The mon I'm looking forward to using most is Lantern, which I think is the most underrated mon in the format, and also one of my favorites. I predict that we'll finish this season with a solid record of 8-2, and I look forward to doing my best to help the Montreal Milotics succeed this season.
What's up, Ocean? You got Robert Panda here, and I will be helping out Matt in his ICBA front office this season. I'm currently a part of Matt's 2 LC League front offices. I'm really excited to see Protean Gren used. I know Matt's put in work with it in the past. I think we're going to go probably 7-3 this season, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Hello Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the ocean. I am Alex, better known as Gren Bell, coach of the Boston Septiles, and your champion of Season 2 of Division 1 of the Ocean League. I am also pleased to announce that I am one of the newest members of MattOshea's ICBA front office for this season. We have drafted a very strong team this season, and with that, it comes as little surprise that many of the Pokemon on this team are mons that I think we will enjoy using throughout the season. However, PROTEAN Greninja specifically is one that I will be very excited to use. I've had a lot of success with Torrent Greninja before in Draft League format, and PROTEAN opens up many more possibilities for Greninja to bring, and I think it'll be very fun to use. Matt's a very consistent player, and I feel like he has a very solid group of people behind him, helping him succeed. So, I feel that a very strong record is definitely in store for him this season, as well as a deep playoff run. I don't know much about the ICBA specifically, but I do recognize a few names as potential competition off the bat. Johnny GB has made a name for himself in Draft League somewhat recently, and players like Melon and Under the Radar also bring stiff competition for us this season. I hope you enjoy watching Matt this season, and I will see you again soon.
And there you have it. Those are only 4 of the amazing people in our front office. So shout out to them for being able to record a quick little hello and goodbye. But other than that, we also have Tails, Ultra, Brain, who are all longtime friends of mine. There's also Scrappy as well, Nick and Ryan, and of course 27 and AJ. So shout out to all those guys. I really appreciate the help. And once again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.